just give us a bit of perspective. What are we to expect from this meeting?
Well, good morning, Isabel. Expect a brief, to-the-point meeting. Mike Pompeo and Federica Mogherini will be meeting in the building here behind me at 8 in the morning. It could be all done and dusted by 9. There's no press conference foreseen, but just a handshake. Now, we all know how Mike Pompeo feels about the EU. This meeting could get a little bit awkward because the last time he was in town in December, he had some fierce criticism for what he called bureaucrats here in Brussels. Many felt that in that speech it showed he didn't really comprehend how the EU and the institutions actually work. And when it comes to the meeting this morning, a spokesperson told me that the two will be talking about issues like Venezuela, Syria and the Western Balkans, issues that they can kind of agree on. What she didn't mention was Iran, which of course would be the elephant in the room, especially after those comments yesterday by Mike Pence, where he criticised that much discussed special purpose vehicle that the EU have been working on for months to try and keep trade alive between the Europeans and, of course, Iran. There's no way that Federica Mogherini will be pulling back on that. She worked hard building relations with Iran for years, and so did her predecessor, Cathy Ashton.
Well, if we kind of pull out from this and take a wider perspective on this, Pompeo's trip is being described as a mission of diplomacy, and that does seem to run counter to what we've heard coming out of the White House lately. So what do we read into that?
Well, this mission of diplomacy, many here have been calling rather an EU troublemaker tour, because Mike Pompeo specifically chose to visit, firstly, countries that the European Commission right now has issues with, issues regarding rule of law. They feel that some of these countries are slipping away from European values, heading off in a more illiberal path. But that aside, today's meeting will be a way for Mike Pompeo and Federica Mogherini to sit down together face to face. It's likely that Federica Mogherini will remind Mike Pompeo that Europe is a friend and a partner of the United States, and it's in their interest to work together with the Europeans and not roll back on all the work that was put in place before by the Obama administration.